to Soul Hacks, and welcome to the very first episode that is not pre-recorded. It's been a wild ride, honestly. That is insane. If I think about how I started and how I pre-recorded all the episodes I uploaded so far, and now I'm sitting here after like the whole hustle, finally recording the next episode, knowing that it will be the next episode for like next week. But yeah, today's episode will be all about the process, how I felt, the process after the launch, because like there was happening a lot. I needed to step back because it was all too much. So, and I think it is a like nice insight how you feel and what it like means to do it. We will jump into it. The first ever recording happened beginning of March. I think it was the 3rd of March. And it took me 2 hours to like get a feeling. It took me over 2 hours and nothing came out of it. I was really unhappy with everything basically, but I didn't have the capacity anymore, and like it got dark. So I was like, there is no sense at all to keep going and to try to record an intro because it's not gonna happen today. And then I was like, okay, before I focus on the intro too much, I will like just start getting into the episodes and then we will go from there. And like the more I do it, the more comfortable I will get. Like the whole March was pretty intense. I have no idea when I was in such a state the last time. I think it was not even for my uni degree, I think it was for my high school degree. I was working with the schedule because obviously I couldn't record every single day. I need to like plan it properly. So it was really like a planning around and making it work. After work, I rushed home basically every single day. Even that I didn't record every day, I've done at least something for the podcast, and then build everything up, set up, get ready, get dressed, everything. It was such a hustle, I'm not gonna lie. And then recorded at least twice a week. Recorded again if I wasn't really happy with an episode. With the episodes, to be fair, it never actually happened. While I was recording the first episodes for the first week, I also re-recorded the intro, I think more than 3 times. I've done it like quite a lot because there was like so much pressure. I put the pressure on myself, but like the pressure was, it will be the intro, it won't be long. That will be the first impression of the whole podcast. Like I have really high expectations of myself. I know that. I'm well aware of that. But I also don't feel it that often. All in all, this whole project showed me pretty quick that I really have high expectations of myself, and I am a bit self-critical. Not too much. I think a good amount, but combined with like the high expectations, not the best, I would reckon. For example, I recorded one episode twice. Sometimes I can look over it. I can say, okay, it's not perfect, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It won't be. With the first 2 episodes, I wasn't really happy. With the first episode, when I was wearing the blue long sleeve, I recorded that one twice. And with the second one, I was really happy with like how the whole thing went. The editing was the pain, to be fair. And the second episode, when I was wearing red lipstick, that was a really good episode. I was really happy with that, but I was not happy the way I was sitting on the on the couch, which is so dumb because no one will actually either see it or recognize it. It was such a good episode. I don't want to re-record it again. I was like, should I not? And I was like, no, I will make it way harder for myself if I will record it again. So I just left it. I think that's a good example. The main part I want to talk about is the launch week. I already got sick the 2nd or 3rd week of March, and I was recording with Jacob. That's when I started getting sick. And then I was sick when I recorded with Georgia, and I got really sick the week before the launch week. So I launched on Tuesday, April 1st, and I got really sick I think on Thursday. At this stage, I was still pushing through. I know it wasn't good because I could feel my body's telling me, Erna, slow down. But I was like, I can't slow down. I can't slow down now, the week before the launch. I really wanted to launch on the 1st of April. The launch day wasn't quite set while I was recording in March. The closer I got to like the recorded episodes for the first week, the closer I could tell might happen this week or might happen the week after. So I think the first rough plan was launching it end of March, and then I pushed it to 1st of April. New month, new start. So I was like, okay, I think that's better. So yeah, I got really sick a few days before, and I was still pushing through. On launch day, I was like so happy. Like I woke up, that was also the day when I had the call, and I woke up and I was like, today's gonna be a good day. Today's gonna be a good day. I was like in such a good mindset. I was in such a good mood. I was so relieved when I launched everything and like, ah! I don't know, maybe you can see it now on my face, and maybe in my voice, but like I was so happy and I could feel and see all the hard work paid off. It was just a great day. It was so good and I was so happy. I was still editing the whole episodes. I think I was like the launch day, I was editing, I think, the 3rd episode, blue long sleeve episode. And that was a fucking pain. I'm happy with what I say or like how the episode is, but I'm not happy with the editing and I'm well aware of it. It's like fucking shit. But I couldn't do it better. I tried my best and I was so afraid the app wasn't working properly anymore. And I was like, please. And every time I was like sitting on the edit, I always wanted to like finish it. And that happened, I think, 3 times. I edited it for quite a while. It was just a fucking pain, honestly. I was like not happy at all. But I was like, okay, that's completely fine. No one fucking cares. That's part of the process. You start and you improve. That's like, that comes with it. And like, I think that's the most important and beautiful part about it, to like see your improvement. While I was getting more sick, I still edited my episodes. By the end of the week, I was feeling so sick and I just laid in bed, I think, for 3 days. But still, like on the first day at home, I was like still trying to edit because I was like, okay, like I'm laying in bed. I can still edit. It's not that I do something physically. On that day, I think that was the day before I should have launched the episode I was editing on. There's no way I won't finish the episode by tomorrow. That was like my gut feeling. I was like, it's not gonna happen by tomorrow. But I ignored that and I like kept going. And then while I was editing, I was like realizing, okay, yeah, no. I kept editing. Don't take me as a role model. I kept editing as much as I could, but like at some point I was like, okay, that's enough for today. Like you've done a great job. Just like rest. And then I was resting the day after. And then I was like, okay, I think I should replan my upload plan. My actual plan was to launch on Tuesday the intro, which was like already launched, and then I will upload every single day for a week, like the intro and 6 episodes. And then while I was recording the 5th or the 6th, I was like, should I record the 7th to have like at least like exclude the intro for like Tuesday, to have like Wednesday till Tuesday, and then I can have a break and then record for the week after. While I was like recording the 5th and the 6th and I was already sick, I was like, no, Anna, just calm down a bit. You don't have to. That will be so much more work. No one will fucking care except me. The only person that is putting pressure on me is myself. So give yourself a break. Because especially with the 5th episode, I cut it in 2 parts because the whole episode itself was, I think, over an hour, or like not the episode, but the whole recording was over an hour, and I cut it down to 35 minutes, and I was like, that's still a bit too long for like only having an episode by myself. So I split it in 2, and I tried to watch and listened to the episode so many times because I wasn't sure anymore if people can follow what I'm saying and if that makes sense for people, because it makes sense to me because I know what I'm talking about and I know like the backstories and stuff, or what I have in my head while I'm talking about it. But will it make sense to others? I don't have any brain capacity left to like know, am I happy with the episode or not? So I just left it, split it in two, and I was like, okay, I will upload one this week and the second part next week. So all in all, it gives me more time to step back, chill a bit, try to recover, and edit the last episode. That's like how I gave myself a break, and that's how I stepped back. And I haven't done anything properly for the podcast, I think maybe 1.5 or 2 weeks. And that's, I don't want to admit it, but that was actually what I needed, especially my body to recover, and also like to gain brain capacity back. A lot of people asked me about the podcast in the first week, and I was like, yeah, I'm really happy, and it was such a success, but I couldn't really reflect on how it went so far, like what I did. It was just like it was too much. And I haven't got better since then in terms of my sickness. First week now that it really gets better slowly, but if you think about, it's been already a whole month that I'm sick. That was definitely my body telling me to slow down and to have a break because I ignored the signals, and I knew that. What do I learn from this? The whole project and the whole month of March plus the first week of April showed me, to be fair, I have to mention, I know that already, but it doesn't get into my way that often, or that it is really present in my day-to-day life. But in terms of the project and the podcast, I could really see, and I know that I'm too hard on myself. I have really high expectations of myself, and I'm self-critical. But I think the self-critical is not really a big issue because I think it's a good amount of self-critical. The too hard on myself, I'm well aware of where it comes from. I'm well aware of why I have this character trait, where it comes from, where it has its roots, but I've never found myself in the position to actually change it. I acknowledge it, and then that's what I have to learn or like work on, because every time I acknowledge it and like I'm aware that it like that I am too hard on myself, I step back and give myself enough time to say, okay, Erna, you're being too hard on yourself. You don't have to. The only person that puts pressure on you is yourself, and that's what you do to yourself. No one does that to you. It's you. That's a win, and that's a step to get closer to not being too hard on myself. And just for the end of the episode, I just want to give you a quick example of like me being hard on myself. That's the snowboarding or / skiing. I haven't gone up the mountain this season that often. It's been, I think, 13 or 14 days. Most of the time I went up by myself. I wanted to get better, and I don't want it to join people before I can proper do it. But at the same time, it was combined with like my demotivation of going up by myself, and like doing things by myself and being by myself. If it would have been like to Australia times, I would have collected at least 50 days by myself, I'm pretty sure. But the energy just wasn't there. I don't want to go up by myself, honestly. Like at the beginning, at the start, it was completely fine, but with like the actually improving, because of course I can go up the mountain and do some laps over and over again to get more comfortable, but that's my issue. I don't compare myself to anyone because nothing or no one is comparable. I'm really competitive. But my biggest competitor is myself. I want to be better every single day than my yesterday's version. In terms of snowboarding and skiing, I need the challenge to get better. As I said, of course I can go up the mountain and do some laps and get more comfortable, but after the second or third time doing so, there's no sense for me going up, because of course you can improve slightly, but like if you do the same over and over again, at some point there is no, that's my opinion, there's no room for improvement, because you have to like get yourself in other situations to become more comfortable, become better. And with doing that, I feel more comfortable doing it with others, because I've never been in a ski resort before. I've never sit on a fucking chairlift. How should I know where to go? I have a lot of trust in myself, but I'm not gonna lie, up the mountain, I'm a bit lost. And I enjoy being a bit lost. When I went up with others, I really felt comfortable with. My friend was like, Erna, give yourself credit. Like, everyone who goes up with me, honestly, like I'm just quiet. And it's not that I don't enjoy it or anything. It's just I'm so much in the moment and so focused on doing it that I don't have any other thought. I'm not in a bad mood, but that's the same thing. Like, I'm also not in a great mood. I'm just like in a very neutral state of being. And I just like focus on what I do. And she was like, give yourself credit. And then I'm like, I do, just way later than other people would maybe do. I always need to calm down first. As soon as I get off the mountain, it takes me maybe an hour or so to actually calm down, to reflect and realize what I've accomplished, what I've done. And then I give myself credit. I own it and I feel into this feeling. That's the way I do things, and it's so much more rewarding for me. I give myself credit, just like not in the moment. But that's also a thing I should work on, because what my friend told me, and I really appreciate her saying that, and I really appreciate her advice or like her point of views anyways. She was like, not thinking anything isn't necessarily better than having negative thoughts. After I had, I think, the biggest day up the mountain, I went down, had maybe an hour of like calming down. I bought what I was really craving, and I bought myself flowers, because I was like, I fucking deserve flowers. I want flowers. So I do. I give myself credit. Just a bit later. I really need to go up with people I feel comfortable with. I don't need people waiting for me. I just need people I feel comfortable with. And that unfortunately didn't happen that often. It happened, and I'm really grateful for the times it happened. I want to mention the thoughts I have are mainly because I'm so fucking over doing things alone. And I was demotivated going up by myself. But it also seemed that everyone has like people to go up with. I'm well aware that I'm not the only person. So many people are going up by themselves. They still go up by themselves. During the winter it felt like that everyone has someone. And even if you feel like this as well, you're not alone. We are not alone. I think a lot of people feel that way, especially like with going up the mountain, and like maybe also the pressure that comes with it. I don't know. I didn't felt the pressure for myself, because I was like, I just don't want to go up with people if I can't proper do it. During my travels, I always reached my limits and went further, not only mentally. And I think this fact also has a big influence on the way you learn new things, seeking the challenge. That was it with the episode. I hope it won't be that long. The next 2 episodes are really, really important for me. Next episode with Jacob, like, it is a really important topic for me, but I'm not in the position. And the episode after, that's how I felt lately. That's how I felt, I think, last week. So yeah, I'm really excited for the next 2 episodes. I hope you enjoyed, and I see you in the next episode.